Afternoon. How are we doing today? I hope you're all well. I had some audio difficulties there, so I just extended the video a little bit longer. I hope you're all well today. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. This is a subscriber chat only today, so if you want to write in the chat, just subscribe to the channel, and you can obviously start writing away. If you do want to leave any questions or ask me and Cal any questions or have any comments read out, please use the super chat feature. Obviously, my channel's now monetized, so it'd be good to start getting some support for this, because obviously buying all of the software and renting all of the software to actually do these shows cost a little bit of money. This is a really interesting show today because it's my new show called Hot Topics, and I'll be getting a guest on during these shows over the next couple of weeks. And I really wanted to look in more detail at whether we can actually live without Mo, Trent, and Virgil van Dijk. And I've gone for the old retro look because we did win trophies without them in the past. We obviously won the Champions League when this was won many moons ago, and we didn't have either of those players in the team. It's an interesting look at some of these guys because I also wanted to give them some huge flowers, because if things don't go the way we want planned as actual individuals and fans, and maybe they all leave, maybe one of them leaves, maybe two of them leaves, I don't know. We don't really know right now. But at the moment, none of them have had any contract talks, and none of them have signed any new contracts. So right at this moment in time, they are all leaving next summer if we don't actually offer them contracts, or if they don't sign contracts. So I wanted to look at what they've achieved, what we've achieved with them, and also some of their incredible records, and basically give them some flowers, and also look at the potential, what it's going to cost us if we do renew those contracts, or we do give them new contracts. And I couldn't have thought of having a better person on the show actually to talk about these three guys than Cal from Coppish. I've listened to his show for a number of years now, and he speaks very highly of them all, and he remembers some of the special moments that they've given us. And he'll be here shortly, just running a bit late, so stick with it. So how do we cope without Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, and Trent? So first of all, we're going to have to work out a way of playing where we aren't going to rely on the right hand side so much, because Mo provides an incredible amount of goals and assists from the right hand side, and Trent provides an incredible amount of assists and chances created from the right hand side. So that's the first part of the puzzle which needs to be fixed if we are going to progress as a club, and we are going to move forward and challenge and carry on continuing where we've been for a number of years with Jurgen, and moving forward with Slot. And then you also have to look at the other area, which is the defence. Can we cope without Virgil van Dijk? Can we cope without Virgil van Dijk at the back? Now, Virgil van Dijk is an incredible player. I think he's quite possibly the best centre-back in the world, and has been for a number of years. I think when he finishes in the Premier League, he will possibly be the best Premier League central defender for me ever. He does everything. Let me just get Cal in 2 secs. Technical difficulties, mate. Can you hear us okay?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect, mate. Perfect.
Perfect. Sorry about
I
that.
went for the retro shirt today. It's a bit tight,
I'm not
though.
even wearing a shirt at the moment.
It's a bit...
Well, no, as in like I'm physically wearing a shirt, not Liverpool shirt. That's a different type of show.
No, I went for. I just wanted to show that like we can't win stuff without these guys.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right, mate. This is a really difficult show to put together, to be fair, because this has been all over media, all over YouTube for like weeks and weeks and weeks, and it's going to continue. And I kind of wanted to put something together early, just to ask the question: can we live without them? And then also, I got the best person on board the show, really, to talk about giving them flowers.
I mean,
and I also wanted to go through some of their records because, mate, some of their records they've got.
So I saw the one about Virgil today, where he's made more appearances than like your Vincent Kompanies, and all these other players. I didn't even realize the problem Virgil's going to have though is a lot of those appearances were at Southampton. Now I'm in the minority here. I thought he was borderline world class at Southampton, but because he wasn't in the Champions League, I mean, he was in the Europa and he was doing very well in the Europa. Because he wasn't in the Champions League, not many people really took that claim seriously, which I understand. But from the moment he came to Liverpool, he showed everyone his levels, and his levels have pretty much maintained the whole time he's been here. And the fact that he missed the whole season and still has that amount of appearances, not just that, if I'm not mistaken, he's won the most games out of any Liverpool player in their first 200 appearances.
I think he's got 100. I was going to bring up. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to bring up. No, that's cool. Carry on, mate. Carry on.
140 wins, right? Which is insane.
It's insane.
He missed the whole season for a bad knee injury. Came back in the season after we started challenging for a quad. That's not for me. That's not coincidental.
No, it's not.
Whenever he plays well, Liverpool play well. Whenever he doesn't play well, Liverpool tend to not play well either. When you look at from a footballing side of things, him on the pitch, as far as centre backs goes in the world of football right now, I don't think there's a better passer, long range passer than Virgil van Dijk. I think in terms of driving out from the back with the ball, he doesn't do it as much as he did when he was at Southampton, but he's still one of the best at that. In terms of pace, still one of the quickest, strength, one of the strongest, arguably the best in the air.
75% across his entire career.
What is that for heading duels? No
in aerial
way.
Duels.
75 across his whole career.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So
that's insane. So,
and the thing about it as well, you just touched on Southampton, like getting into Europe. They got to Europe because of him.
And he captained them.
And I think Southampton been in Europe.
He if I'm not mistaken, was
that with Poch?
Yeah, I think it might have been. I think it was
Poch. To Tottenham.
And I know Southampton got to a cup final the season before he signed for us, and they lost to Man United 3-2. I might be wrong here, but I don't know if he got injured in the final or just before the final. But the common consensus were if he was available, Southampton might have actually won as well, because Ibrahimovic had a fantastic game, and I think if he had played, obviously he'd have been up against Ibrahimovic. The one thing that people will throw at Virgil in comparison to your Rio Ferdinand, etc., is they'll go, "Oh, but look at the quality of striker nowadays. There's no Henry, there's no Van Nistelrooy, etc." He can't choose who he plays in an era with. I could also flip it. Did Messi and Ronaldo play against a prime Maldini, a prime Alessandro Nesta,
no, they didn't.
Prime Yap Stam? They didn't. So we can't move the goalpost for Virgil, but not move it for the others as well. Not just that. Sergio Aguero, one of the best strikers we've ever seen, dealt with him numerous times. Harry Kane, one of the best strikers to play in England, dealt with him numerous times. Haaland, we've seen what Virgil's done with Haaland throughout his career, dealt with him numerous times. Like, we've seen it. Mbappe, for Holland and for Liverpool, dealt with him numerous times. So I don't get this whole... If he played for any other team apart from Liverpool, if he played for Man United, if he played for City, he'd be widely conceded as the best Premier League defender to ever do it.
Yeah.
But because he's not won as many...
Oh, you dropped off. We'll get him back in a sec. Actually, while I'm waiting for Cal to come back, I'm actually going to bring up. Oh, here he is. He's back again.
So my laptop is on one at the moment, so bear with me.
It's all right, mate. It's all right.
But yeah, considering he's not won more Premier Leagues, I get that would be the argument. But if that's the case, then Harry Kane shouldn't even be in a conversation as one of the best strikers to play in England in the Premier League. But if he comes back from Bayern Munich, say in a year or two, and he breaks Alan Shearer's record, then what do we have here? Not just that, Alan Shearer only won one Premier League trophy, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he won an FA Cup. He didn't win an FA Cup or a League Cup or Champions League.
No.
When everyone asks who's the best striker in Premier League history, isn't it Henry or Alan Shearer? And most people go with Alan Shearer. So again, where's the difference?
It's a fair point. It's a fair point, mate. And I wanted to bring that up with Salah later as well, like because that's what you used against Salah over and over. Like, oh well, he's not in the conversation because he hasn't won like consistently. And you're like, that's not his fault. Like he's done his job.
Yeah.
Like you can only do your job to a certain extent. Like you have an entire team and also a manager, so you can't blame the player if he's putting up the numbers and he's consistently, scoring the goals, creating the assists. Just because they haven't won a league over and over again, and we're also in a situation where it's a bit tenuous with that league anyway. Like whether it even stays their league, like I don't know. Like So I actually wanted to bring up some stuff on Virg. 2 seconds. Okay. So I've got some stats on him here actually. I need to bring this in and just pop us to the side. Okay, there we are. Okay, so where is it? Okay, so obviously he was the most expensive transfer at the time. I mean, I don't think we've spent any more, have we? I think Nunes was like in installments, wasn't it? Is he more expensive now?
Yeah, I think Darwin is still considered our most expensive signing at 85 mil, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
And I think I do think a lot of those have been triggered. I don't know if Virgil's was a flat 75 or some of it was add-ons. Most times there are add-ons there, but I think they always say what the highest fee will be is the fee that they actually stipulate. So I think Nunes is considered our most expensive signing of all time.
Actually, the most expensive defender was actually Harry Maguire.
Yeah, Harry Maguire. Yeah, so Virgil was it, and then it was Harry Maguire for like 80 or 85 mil.
So a couple of
has it not been broken since? Has it not been broken since then? Has anyone else?
I don't think there's been a defender that's gone for more than that.
No, I don't think so.
No, I can't think of it.
Yeah, I know they spoke about Euro potentially going for more than that, but he didn't end up going for more than that.
I mean, if you include like his dad and his agent, then probably.
Oh, Fofana.
But we don't know about Fofana, yeah.
Fofana. And how much was Gvardiol as well?
How much was Fofana? Jesus Christ, man! How much have they spent on defenders? Those two clubs.
Wesley Fofana.
I don't know whether Fofana was. I don't know whether he was 75. He might have been 80 actually.
Oh, he was 75. He's 75. It says.
Gvardiol was 100. Bloody hell. Okay. All right, there you go. Anyway, this is quite old actually. So he's only the 24th player to score on his Anfield debut because he scored on his debut. Remember?
Yeah, against Everton.
Finished second in the Ballon d'Or as a defender. I think only one defender's won the Ballon d'Or, which is weird. It was a weird one for him to even win it. So he played every single minute in 74 consecutive Premier League games.
Crazy.
First defender to be crowned UEFA Men's Player of the Year. Did not have a player successfully driven past him in his first 50 Premier League appearances.
Crazy.
First defender to have been rated 99 on FIFA.
Crazy.
First player to start back-to-back every season. I've got some other records on him actually. 6th defender, PFA. I mean, it just carries on and on and on. Yeah. Premier League, Champions League, Super Cup, World Cup winner. only player to feature in every single minute of the club's remarkable 44-game unbeaten run in the Premier League. Only
Anfield
16
record.
clubs have inflicted a defeat on Virgil van Dijk. By scoring and assisting in Bayern Munich, he became the first Red to do so in an away Champions League game since Craig Bellamy.
Bloody hell.
Before his knee injury, played 98.5% of available league minutes.
Jeez.
That's just unheard of.
He came off in a game, I want to say Bournemouth at home 1920 with a slight rib. I think he felt some discomfort in his rib, and I think that was one of the games he came off.
There's actually, I wanted to show this, but I was going to do it at the end, but I can do it now, actually. So this shows so at Liverpool, his aerial duels are 75%. Like his whole career, and 74% to Southampton. And I also wanted to show you just how many games he's played, mate. Where is it? Playing time. I thought this was insane. This is the longevity of the guy. So 272 games in 8 seasons. 3 subs.
That's crazy.
So he's been the sub 3 times, and he's came off 34 times. And the majority of them have probably been. Actually, does that mean
that might be like Europa and Champions League games where we've virtually qualified already?
So he's actually been a sub 3 times in 272 games, and he was a sub once for Southampton and once for Celtic. Like, these numbers are just they're just incredible. Like, I just don't think there's any players that are going to get anywhere near this. Like, and I haven't even showed you Salah's either, because Salah's are just as insane. Like, to have 2 guys that are that consistent is quite incredible. It just is. I've got some other numbers on him as well. Just so 82 wins, 16 draws, and obviously 2 defeats in 100 games at Anfield. And he's really hurt over those 2 defeats as well.
Yeah.
One of them was Crystal Palace as well, which is crazy.
Yeah, Crystal Palace and Leeds.
This one as well. Impact as a Liverpool player. So I think Jamie Carragher did this one a while ago. So you can see when he's not in the team.
Yeah.
97 points, 99 points. When he wasn't with us, 69.
Jeez.
Bumped back up to 92. And then obviously we had a couple of. I mean, that hasn't even really been played. Like that hadn't been played at that time.
Yeah.
But it's just showing the actual impact of when he's not.
It's insane.
When he's not on the team.
Insane.
This was a good one I got as well. Liverpool's Premier League record without Virgil van Dijk. 95 games, 92 games without 2.4 points per game, 1.9. Look at the goals conceded, drop off.
It's crazy.
All just drops off when he's not on the team.
Yeah.
So this was obviously his transfer to us. Just giving him some flowers, mate, because this was a weird one as well, because this wasn't really announced, was it? It was announced online, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's insane that we ended up paying 20, I think it was 25 million more for him.
Yeah, because it's meant to be 50 in the summer.
Yeah.
I actually, in a weird way, think it worked out better that we didn't get him in the summer in hindsight, because he was just coming off the back of a really long injury. Him coming to us for 50 million at that time, I think he would have put a lot of pressure on him. Plus, he wouldn't have been match fit either. I think those extra few months where he stayed at Southampton, I think, allowed him to get his match fitness and sharpness. And then when he came to us, he was able to just hit the ground running. Whereas if he signed for us in the August or before the season started, I don't know if he would have had that luxury.
Yeah. No, but I agree as well. I agree. And when he came in, he came in as the eighth all-time transfer signing in the world when he came in for us.
That's
I've
crazy.
got more on him as well. Most lethal defender. Scored more Premier League goals than any other defender since 2018-19. I think he scored 21 goals for us so far.
I didn't even realize there was that many.
And so many of those goals are actually important goals as well.
Yeah,
He scores
yeah,
a lot of important goals. Him and Matip used to score really important goals for us.
yeah.
There was a lot of 1-0s that we won because of
Yeah, I remember we
his
beat
goals.
Brighton. Was it Brighton or Huddersfield? I think it might have been Brighton. We beat 2-1 in the 1920 season. You got both the headers in that game, both the goals in that game for us. The Everton debut goal, the header against Man United in 1920 to put us 1-0 in the lead. Against Bayern Munich at the Allianz.
Yeah. So I
many.
think some of his goals are here actually. So where is it? The only defenders with impressive records include Lewis Dunk 13 and Nathan Ake 12, and Marcus Alonso. Where is it? In fact, leads the way with headed efforts for Liverpool, with 8 of his 16 attempts coming that way. Okay, yeah, that's not important. Okay, so I've got so many tabs open. I just need to find the screen again. Okay. Right, where are we? Okay, we're back. Okay, so the question is, what if Virgil van Dijk walked away next season? I'm going to ask it.
Yeah.
How do we mitigate the loss of him? Because just like we've talked about, and just like we've shown, he's always there. Like, he never misses a game. How do you replace someone who's always in your team?
Honestly, I don't want to ruin any more segments you've got coming up in the show, and it's going to sound very dramatic. I'm going to say, I don't think he can be replaced.
I don't think so either.
Excuse me. I just don't think he can be replaced. Who would we say is the second best centre back in the world? A lot of people would probably say Saliba. I would say Rudiger at the moment is probably second best centre back in the world. There's no way we're getting Saliba. There's no way we're getting Rudiger. I'm trying to think. Euro's just gone to Man United. Gvardiol's at Man City. Ruben Dias is at Man City. I'm trying to think who else is really out there of a level where you go, Bastoni's a shout. Bastoni is a shout.
Bastoni. It's one we've looked at.
But how hard is it going to be to get Bastoni out of Milan? Maybe now Chiesa's here. If Chiesa starts really well and then has like a good spell at Liverpool.
That's an interesting
the
signing as well, to maybe start an Italian.
Yeah.
And the way we did that with South Americans.
Yeah.
We started getting Brazilians in. We started to build like a contingent that all spoke Spanish. Like, they all kind of got on with each other. They were all going to each other's houses for parties and whatever. You know what I mean? And now we've got like a load of little Scouse speaking Brazilians.
Bastoni is the only one I look at and go, yeah, it's got to be him. Again, someone might come throughout the season and look like they're a real quality footballer, and even for me, Bastoni's someone I'd love to bring in while we have Virgil, because Bastoni can play as a left back as well.
Yeah.
Like, for me, nothing against Tsimikas. I actually really like Tsimikas and think he's been massively underrated and underutilized at Liverpool since he's been there.
I agree.
But let's say you sell a Tsimikas and you bring in a Bastoni. You got Bastoni and Robbo who can play, and that for me allows you to choose whether you play Trent as an invert or as a traditional fullback, because Bastoni can do both. He can play as a part of a 3. He can play as a traditional left back. Obviously, Robbo's like seasoned as a traditional left back, so Bastoni would be the one. But as Ash has just said in the comments, his aerial duels aren't great. I don't think we're going to find anyone to replicate Virgil's aerial duels. And for the way we like to play, and for the way teams like to play against us, Konate is maybe the only person, but we've already got him. Branthwaite, I rate really highly as well, but again, not to replace Virgil. Kwanzaa, love the kid to bits, but I don't think he's ready yet to take on that mantle. We need a centre back with Virgil staying You would need 2 with Virgil going.
So what about maybe a Spanish international?
I mean,
Maybe
Pau Torres is at Villa.
maybe he's a good passer as well.
Yeah, he is.
There's not many that I see that could do everything that Virgil does, and that's the thing. You're gonna have to compromise and take away some of the aspects that he does.
Yeah.
Like, and that's always going to be the problem. Like for me, like I know this name's been mentioned a million times, but I think Levi Colwell would be a very good replacement. Like,
yeah, I like
I think he'd
Colwell.
be and I also think he'd be a player that we might be able to bring in and slowly bring them in over time. Like,
Yeah.
he's not going to expect to just take over from him. Like a Bastone, he's going to cost probably 100 million anyway. And are you really going to be able to like play him off the bench? Like, or would it be he does left back and then comes in as a centre back?
That's what I would do. I'd integrate him that way.
Schlotterbeck as well, by the way.
Schlotter, shout. That's a shout.
Yeah.
That is a shout.
That just popped into my head actually, because he's a German international.
Yeah.
And he's also about 25 as well.
Schlotterbeck's a shout.
Schlotterbeck.
Yeah. I'd say Schlotterbeck.
There's not many.
Bastoni and Branthwaite are the ones. I tell you, who did look good.
I mean, Gahey. Like,
no, Gahey doesn't do it for me.
He's not tall. He doesn't win enough headers, but
Gahey just doesn't. I think he had a great Euros, but
yeah.
I think he's very limited as a footballer. Yeah. I know Murillo was mentioned during the summer, Nottingham Forest centre back. I think he's quite short, and I don't think he's got that refinement to his game either. I think he's not in a rude way. He's almost like a bull in a china shop. He's a very robust, strong defender, but I don't know if he can do the intricacies of what Slot wants him to do either.
You know what I'm laughing about? Like, people bring up these players. Forest nearly got relegated. Like,
yeah,
like they shipped loads of goals. Like how is that guy not culpable for some of that? Like, is he just getting away with that? Is he? He's just getting away with them nearly getting relegated.
You got Inacio as well, although I don't think he can come in and replace Virgil. Cole's a weird one because it's so hard to judge some of these Chelsea players because there's just no structure there. There's no real philosophy, and they've had so many managers change. Yeah. For me, Colwell would have been perfect buying him last summer, and I think we tried. I think we did try, but
oh god, we tried. Yeah,
it did. Yeah, I don't know about now. I tell you, who looks good. There's a young centre back at Barca. I think his name begins with C.
Kabasi. Jesus, mate, he's insane.
He looks quality, but again, it's going to be very difficult getting. Well, we say it's going to be very difficult getting players out of Barca. You don't know what's going to happen to them financially.
No, but the thing with Barca, it seems like they've got some kind of
they've got some
Jedi mind tricks with their players. People play for no wages.
Yeah,
like in that club, it's mad. It's interesting, but like as far as I'm concerned, like we throw everything at Virgil for another couple of years. Yeah. And listening to his interviews, like he's calm, he's happy, he wants to work for the manager. He's asking the manager if he needs any help on the side. Like he's basically gone, look, just come to me. Like I'll show you around. I'll talk to people for you. You know, he's basically doing the captain stuff. Yeah. And that's the other thing. He's the captain.
He's our captain.
And the vice captain is also on this list. Who loses a captain and a vice captain?
I think Mo might be third.
Ever happened, mate?
Well. I think Mo's third. Is a Mo third captain as well?
Yeah, I don't think this ever happened. Okay, so let's have a look at Trent then. Okay, so actually, where is Trent? Is here. Okay, so actually, what I did want to do as well, I wanted to show you some.
I've got
some bits on Virgil.
I've got a little controversial take on Trent, but I'll wait till.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is a really good site, by the way. Just I recommend this to anyone. It's called LFC History or
Oh, they're
History.
brilliant. They're absolutely amazing.
LFC History. It's really, really good. I recommend it to anyone. So so obviously league games. 200. He played 200 for us recently. Do you know that?
Who, Trent?
No, Virgil. I just wanted
Oh
to give
yeah,
you a few more
yeah,
bits on Virgil before we go.
yeah.
18 goals, 6 assists in 200 games as a defender.
That's crazy.
And 273 games in total, 23 goals, 9 assists. It's quite insane. But I also wanted to just show you the appearances here again, just so we can see it. Just for
So
league,
okay,
this
bro. Are
is
you able to make that slightly bigger?
yeah, 2 secs. Zoom in. Is that better?
A little bit more if you can. Perfect.
Yeah, zoom in.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I wanted to just so this was just how many times he's played against our
Wow.
main opposition. Like he's doing like 15, 13, you know, he's playing huge amount of appearances against the big guns. And obviously I talked about the substitute and substituted. 8 substitutions and 3. He's been on the bench 12 times in 270 games. He's hit the longevity is just the longevity is just insane.
It is.
And obviously under Jurgen, a 68% win ratio with Jurgen, 186 wins with him, 42 draws and 42 losses. It's just the numbers are just insane for him.
Yeah.
So that was Virgil. Is there any milestones I've got here? What are the milestones? No, there isn't. Okay, so I wanted to look at Trent. Where is Trent? He's here. Okay. So first of all, Trent. I wanted to show you some bits on him actually. Where is it? So I thought this one was nice.
Yeah, that's quality. Trent must be close to like 300 appearances now.
Yeah, we can cover that. So yeah, I just wanted to put that one up because obviously he's been at the club for forever, pretty much, and
yeah,
you know, obviously Stevie and Cara idols, and he's been a ball, but he's done pretty much everything at the club, Trent.
Yeah.
So he's one of our own, and I know we associate him with, oh well, if he walks out the club on a free, then that's like what, you know, Owen did that, McManaman did that. They were Everton supporters, those 2 guys. For him to leave on a free, I think that takes something completely different, and I don't know whether he's prepared to do that, because when you're a fan and the whole club's ingrained in you since you were a baby, to be able to walk out as a vice captain on a free transfer, I don't know whether he can do that, if I'm completely honest. What do you think?
So I think a lot of this, it literally depends on us as a club. I think Trent's phenomenal. He knows he's phenomenal. The club knows he's phenomenal. And I've said this so many times. I don't want us as a club to take it for granted that because Trent's come through the youth system, because he's a Liverpool fan, because he's from the academy, that we can just keep him just around and just lowball him or just dilly-dally with his contract. For me, it should have been done last summer. And I also look at the ambition of the club, and I'm not talking about slot here, I'm talking about higher up. Trent, Virgil, pretty much all the players would have seen last season that the wheels fell off towards the end and we needed reinforcements. Now, obviously, we got Chiesa in. We needed more, especially when you look at what our rivals have done and what they continued to do. I don't want Trent to be in a position where he sits there and goes, look, I love this club, but if they're not going to take the extra step, and I want to win more trophies. I want to, when I finish my career, I want to be able to say I won numerous Champions Leagues, numerous Premier Leagues, domestic cups. He's won everything he can win at Liverpool, apart from the Europa. But I'll be honest, I don't want him to ever play in the Europa again because I want to just be in the Champions League. I think we're sitting there taking it for granted that Trent is going to sign. Trent could pretty much go to any club. No, not pretty much. Trent could go to any club in the world and be a regular for those teams. I'm not saying he'll be a guaranteed starter because there's competition in other teams, but Pep Guardiola takes him in a heartbeat at Man City. Real Madrid take him in a heartbeat. Barcelona in a heartbeat. Bayern Munich, AC, Inter Milan, Juve. All these teams would take Trent in a heartbeat. We can't dilly-dally with this. We have to get him signed up and keep him at the club for a sustained period, because it also shows the youth players that, you know, if you come in and you excel, we're always going to treat you well. If you can't even treat Trent well, then who else? Who can you treat well?
That's a really good point that's not being talked about like that either, and that's a blueprint that you can use to bring people to the club and to also bring the youngsters through. And it is a blueprint to use. It's like, look, this guy came in when he was 18. Look, we're giving him like a £300,000 a week contract now when he's 25. That's the levels you can get. You can win every single trophy with us. Like he has, you know, this is what you can aspire to be, and the captain. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean, in the future. So it's an interesting one. If Virgil leaves, does he automatically become the captain? And is that something that could get talked about when we're lining up a contract?
I know this might not be a popular opinion. For me, I wouldn't have made him vice captain last summer.
I agree. I said Salah. I said Salah or Ali.
I think it should have been Alisson.
Yeah,
but I can also understand why some people would be hesitant to give it to a goalkeeper, because outside of a goalkeeper doing what they do, they can't really affect the game as much. I think the second should have been Salah. By way of hierarchy, it has to be him. And it's weird, if you don't then give him the captaincy, then I think he says, I'm going to leave. Because I think he'd find that disrespectful. And I'd understand why he'd find it disrespectful, even though I don't think it would be meant in a disrespectful way. Yeah, it'd have to be him. Now that he's vice captain, it has to be him.
Yeah. Have you seen that stat by the age of 25?
No, but it doesn't surprise me. Messi is insane.
I know. I don't even know what he's on.
21 by 25. He's insane.
I know.
Like Trent's insane, but Messi just.
I thought the Ronaldo one was interesting. I didn't know he provided as much as everyone called him a selfish. He got 70 assists.
Wasn't. Do you know
by
what?
the time he was 25.
I say Messi's insane, and Messi's numbers are insane. But you also have to contextualize it. Messi's an attacker. He's close to the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Trent's doing this from right back.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. So I've got some other interesting stuff on Trent. Okay, so you got. So this was a year for him, 2018.
Yeah.
Youngest Englishman ever to start in the Champions League quarter-final, semi-final and final. Senior England debut. World Cup appearance, first senior England goal, European Golden Boy runner-up as well. Surprised he didn't win the Golden Boy. I wonder if that was Mbappe.
Yeah, it might have been. Mbappe seems to win all those awards, didn't he?
That was our unbeaten run. I wanted to bring that up because obviously we had Trent, Virgil, and Salah involved in that. That was the unbeaten run. 44 matches unbeaten, 422 days without a defeat, second longest run in English history, first European Cup, one European Cup, one Super Cup, one World Club Cup, 106 out of 111 points.
Crazy. Crazy.
That was 2019. Champions League, Super Cup, World Cup, unbeaten at Anfield, 38 unbeaten in the Premier League, one Premier League defeat, 55 out of 57 points. 17 games and 10 game match winning streaks, won 27 out of 28 Premier League games, 81, 83 points, and scored in every Premier League game. And that's obviously with Trent, Mo, and Virg.
Yeah.
And this was some more assists by defenders. This was in top 5 leagues. Trent behind. So this is all competitions and all 5 leagues. This is the most that's ever been done. Trent's in there twice.
That's crazy.
Like Dani Alves, obviously.
Yeah,
I mean that was a special team as well.
Yeah,
like, and
Alves was a special player as well.
I mean, Cuadrado, that was that Champions League. Was that Champions League?
That was also him playing. He was playing as a wing back as well.
Yeah,
I think that was in a Conte system.
I mean, just to be in the conversation with some of these names and teams as well. And he's in there twice as well, by the way. And I mean, if he if he stays with us and he played as a right back again, right wing back, under slot, then I wouldn't be surprised if he could get back up to some of these numbers again. But it just depends where he is. Like, to be honest, now, that was another one, which is Trent has set a record as for the youngest Liverpool player to reach 50 European appearances. Created more chances, 82, than any other defender in Europe's major leagues. This was in 2020. I mean, some of these numbers are old now, but it's hard to get stats. So he made history by becoming the youngest Englishman to ever start in the Champions League semi-final. Only defender to ever reach 12 assists in a Premier League season was Trent. Like, just incredible numbers. So question. We'll talk about this in a sec. Actually, we'll talk about this in a sec. Yeah. So question. Have I frozen? No, I haven't. Okay. Question. How do we replace him if he goes?
All right. So this is my controversial take. Out of him, Salah, and Virgil, I think he, on paper, is the easiest to replace. And the reason I say that is because as a right back, I don't know if Trent's still the best in the world at right back. But I'd put my neck out on the line and I'd say I think Salah is the best right winger in the world still. And I'd say Virgil's still the best centre back. Now with Trent, there's 2 equations, I think, when it comes to replacing Trent. To replace him as a right back defensively, I think is pretty easy. To replace his numbers that he gets from a right back in an attacking sense, don't know if it can be replaced. So we'd have to probably change how much we depend on our right back to get the amount of assists he gets. But if I'm not mistaken, in the last couple of seasons, his number of assists have gone down significantly from what they were before, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're right. You're right.
So we are relying on him less and less as an assister, not as a creator, as an assister, because he still creates. And I think people get this misconstrued that unless you get the assist, you're not creative. He's extremely creative. He splits play, and when he passes the ball down the wing, that's creative. When he switches play with both feet, that's creative. When he breaks lines with his passing, that's creative. I just think as a right back, I don't think it's impossible to replace Trent, but we wouldn't ever get the same type of player. We may get someone who's more defensively sound and is able to do the orthodox stuff, similar to what Bradley does. Bradley's up and down, but I think Bradley is doing great so far. Would I want someone else to come in if Trent were to move on or move somewhere else in the team? Absolutely, but I think Bradley could do a good job, but I'd want someone else with more experience as well. I just don't know who that person would be.
Someone just wrote it in the chat.
I'm not feeling Frimpong one. Look, we moan about Trent defensively. I think people would pull their hair out even more with Frimpong. I think Frimpong's really good.
Disagree.
I think he's really good at dribbling, and scoring goals. He does do that quite well. He scores well from right back, but he's also playing right wing back in an Alonso system, which effectively made him a winger.
He's pretty much Salah.
Yeah, he's a Salah.
He's
so
pretty much like Salah.
I don't think it would suit how we play.
Yeah.
Even though I think he's a good player.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm quite controversial on this one as well. Like you know, I've been critical over Trent for a while, but that's not particularly because of Trent. That's more because of we'll get him back in again. He's just dropped off again. It's more because of the system that he was asked to play. It's more about the system that he was asked to play over the last couple of years. And I mean, all of the numbers I've just given you and all of the stats that I've just given you, it's the past.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this is how we'll play in the future, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we're relying on a right back to basically be our
win the game,
dominating player that creates and provides all of the time. Like, I mean, obviously, if you throw a Bradley into the team, I mean, just so far in 3 games, I think Bradley's had 3 big chances. Like, like he gets forward a lot and gets into the area a lot, which is something Trent doesn't do. However, he could have scored in the last game, like so, and he would have had a goal and an assist in 3 games.
In that game, yeah.
So, would he be back in that system? Would he be back in a system where he gets more goals and more assists under Slot? I really don't know how he utilizes him like that, but he's definitely being asked to do more defensive work. So there might be a drop off there. But if he does go, he is the guy which I don't think we will suffer. I don't think we'll suffer at all. I think
we'll suffer emotionally with him the most.
I think emotionally,
we'll emotionally suffer with him. But from a
I've got to especially if he goes on a free.
Yeah, it will hurt.
Because we're going to be seeing him for another season.
Yeah,
like being phased out of the team gradually because he's going to have to play Bradley more.
Yeah, well, depending on how we look, it all depends on how we look going forward. Because again, if we're doing well and Trent's in the team and we're with a shout of winning the league or Champions League, and then he tells the team behind the scenes he's leaving, you can't kind of stop playing him because then you hinder Liverpool potentially.
It's true. Yeah, it's a very good point.
You're caught between a rock and a hard place there because you become reliant on him and then he leaves and then you're like, oh, we've got a massive gap to fill. But then if you take him out of the team early and we start losing, it's like, why didn't we play Trent until we had him? Well, this is why Slot gets the big money and we don't, unfortunately, bro.
It's a catch-22, isn't it? So I just want to give you some numbers on him as well. So obviously 229 games, 15 goals, 58 assists. I do feel like he could score more goals. That is something that is I'm a bit critical about. Like he could score more goals. I think he should probably come off free kicks a bit more as well because he doesn't convert enough.
I'll be honest, free kicks
not like a Cristiano Ronaldo. We don't have to just constantly keep on giving him free kicks.
Free kicks really annoy me because we get a lot of free kicks in some dangerous areas, but we just I don't know. We don't tend to take advantage of him as much now.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I've got to be honest. Like, I think probably one of our best free kick takers in putting the ball in is probably Robbo and Tsimikas, if I'm honest.
Oh, in terms of crossing the ball in,
I mean, Tsimikas' record of assists from corners and free kicks is really good, actually. So I mean, in total, 313 games, which is a huge amount of games for a 25-year-old. 19 goals, 79 assists, which is just insane. Like it is just insane. I also wanted to give you some of the appearances he's had. 18 appearances against Arsenal.
Jeez.
And 15 against Manchester City. Like,
effectively the big six.
The big six, mate.
And Everton.
Always involved, yeah. And Everton, always involved, mate. Obviously, he's been on the bench a few times. I mean, the majority of them would probably have been over the last couple of years. He was used on the bench a lot for his first season.
Yes, 17, 18.
I think he only played like 3 or 4. How many games did he play that year? 7 games.
16, 17. Yeah. He
So
got his first assist against Leeds for Origi, I think it was. And Ben Woodburn scored in that game as well.
Wow. See, that's why I got you on, mate.
I'm almost certain. So we won that game 2-0. Is a League Cup, or I think it was League Cup, not FA Cup. We beat Leeds 2-0. He got the assist for Origi's first goal, and then Ben Woodburn came off the bench, and Genie got an assist for Ben Woodburn.
Hang on, I can tell you now. 2 seconds, because I'm a proper geek, and I got this. Where's the assist? What game do you say it was?
I thought it was against Leeds 2-0.
There it is. That's the game. Hang on. I can't see.
Was it League Cup or FA Cup?
It was League Cup.
Yeah.
Yep, Ben Woodburn's there.
Yeah,
there he is.
Yeah, he got an assist for Origi.
Yeah, there you go. And Origi's there as well.
He got subbed in that game as well, and then gave Klopp a massive hug, from what I remember. I think it was that game.
No. It doesn't give assists on here. It just gives goals. But yeah, he only had 12 appearances that year, so obviously he had a lot off the bench, which is why that stat shows that he was on the bench a lot when he really wasn't when he was a first team player. Like when he was a first team player, he was constantly in the in the game. So his assist wise, you mentioned that they dropped off. He got 4 last year.
Yeah.
He got 9 the year before, and then he got 12. So, I mean, in 2019-20, that was an 18-19, which is obviously the
those
where we lost by a point each. 12 and 13 assists. 3 in Europe as well that year. And they have been gradually, I mean, 2021, 22, I mean, these are basically, that's the quad year. Well, when we obviously won the 2 cups. And then obviously the 1 point, and then these are obviously the off seasons where we had our lesser years and when his numbers had dropped off. He did get two assists last year in the in the Europa League and 3 in the League Cup. So he did get 9 in total.
Okay.
So it wasn't, it was low in the league, but it was quite high overall. But the quad season he got 18 in total, mate.
Says it all, though, isn't it? Like
3 in Europe, 2 in the League Cup, 1 in the FA Cup, just vital.
I'd say that was the last season though where we played how Klopp wanted to play, and after that season where we chased the quad, it was more how Linders wanted to play.
And I also think what's interesting as well is most of his assists against Arsenal. Have you seen that?
Yeah, he's got a stupid amount.
9 against Arsenal.
Yeah, because he always create for like Jota and Mane against Arsenal. I seem to remember. He got
so 10 assists for Jota, 11 for Mo, 12 for Mane, and 7 for Virgil.
Yeah, there would have been from set piece and corners. I remember. I think I remember all of his. I feel like I remember all of his assists for Virgil. I think he got 2 against Brighton. He got 2 against I think when we beat Watford at home 5-0.
2 against Brighton here, mate.
Yeah, 2 against Brighton, 2 against Watford. I think he got 1 against Leeds, the opening game of the pandemic season. Was it 2021? So that's 5. Did he get the assist against? I think he might have got the assist for Virgil at Bayern Munich potentially, or was that might have been Robbo actually?
Yeah, he probably did, mate. Yeah,
so
probably
yeah,
did. Some of his goals as well. Like he's got 2 against Man City. Do you know that?
one was Community Shield, and the one was last season in the league, right?
Yeah, just important goals. Like he
Yeah.
scored some important goals, and obviously 2 against Chelsea as well. Yeah, so I thought I'd just bring up a bit about Trent, and I think we've kind of covered him now.
Yeah.
And next we're gonna talk about a guy who
Agency
I've just
thing.
got an insane amount of an insane amount of websites open with his stats and his records.
How many pages?
Well, I've got quite a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go through all of them.
You'll
But what I
need
will
it.
do, well, no, right. So obviously, 253 games in the league, 158 goals, 71 assists, total games 352, 214 goals, 90 assists. Like, I mean, it's pretty. You can't really. The only person you can judge Mo against for me is Mo. Like, do you want to kind of give a little bit of a synopsis about Mo in your own eyes before we then start looking at? And what
Yeah.
I'll do is when you're talking, I'll actually bring up some of his goals and numbers and stuff like that if you want.
So Mo for me was a player that I think went under the radar the summer we signed him. We signed him in 2017, right? And
Yeah.
I think it went under the radar because everyone thought he was the same Mo Salah that played for Chelsea under Mourinho. What they don't realize is Mourinho only bought Mo Salah to stop Liverpool from getting Mo Salah, because that was the season we were chasing the league in 13-14. And I still maintain if we had signed Salah that January, we would have gone on to win the league because we needed another attacker that season because there was too much emphasis on Suarez and Sturridge and Sterling. We needed another foil. So when he went off, he went to Fiorentina, got his confidence back, went to Roma, and was a goal-scoring demon for Roma. And he was also an assist machine. When we were linked with him, the first thing a lot of people said was, oh, he's coming in to be Mane's backup. Because Mane was playing right wing, and I was like, that's crazy. There's no way we're spending that sort of money at the time for him to be a backup. I said, Mane's going to move to the left. He'll be on the right. Mane might be the better player, but Mo Salah will get you more numbers. And I think, 7 years later, I've been proven right on that. But what makes Salah so different is his consistency and his appetite to win. Mo Salah could be having the worst game and he won't hide. And as frustrating as he can be sometimes, I will always admire and respect that. Big up, Jamie. Hope you're well, bro. He's phenomenal. He, for me, is the best right winger in the world, has been the best right winger in the world since 2018, in my opinion. Whenever people put up stats on Twitter, or X now it's known as, it's always apart from Salah, XYZ. It's always apart from Salah. The only person that's really coming and blitzed the league in terms of goal scoring that since Salah been here is Haaland, which I think most people expected to happen anyway. Salah is not only fantastic for us on the pitch, but off the pitch commercially, he's huge for Liverpool Football Club. Like, please don't get twisted that if Salah wasn't here, we wouldn't be hitting the commercial numbers that we hit. So even from a commercial standpoint, signing Salah up to a new contract makes all the sense in the world. From a footballing standpoint, makes all the sense in the world. You look how he is with the youngsters. Harvey Elliott spoke about it when he was coming through, how he would tell Harvey what to eat, what not to eat, when to train, when not to train. The guy's got cryotherapy chamber in his own house because he's that focused on getting to his best and maintaining the level. Salah for me is easily a club legend. You look at his goal scoring stats, and these are goal scoring stats that any single striker over the course of the Premier League history would be over the moon with. He has those stats, and he has those from right wing. He also has the assist to back it up as well. Again, he'll get tarred with the same brush Virgil does, as in, oh, well, he hasn't won enough. But if you're speaking about as an individual, he couldn't have done much more. And the quicker we sign Salah up to a new contract, the better. I know people speak about his age. I don't really care about players' age. I think I care more about their consistency and how much they can play to a high standard. Naby Keita and Knox are way younger than Salah, but I mean, is anyone going to compare their fitness records to Salah's and have a straight face? No. So for me, it's all about having and the evidence in front of you. And the evidence in front of us right now is he's still the best right wing in world football.
I hear that, mate. I hear that. And as you just said, injury record. That's how many league games he's played. Like, he's just ever present. Like, he's never ever missing games. Like, he's had one injury in his entire career, and that was probably down to the fact that he was mismanaged and overplayed right before a tournament that he was then overplayed at the tournament for. So I totally think that was the reason why he ended up with the injury, and it wasn't down to him not preparing and him not being in the physical mindset that he needed to be in. I think that was just down to the fact that he was just flogged, just constantly flogged. He was played in so many needless games. Like, he played in like Europa League games and cup games that he just did not need to be in. And he should have wound up. He should have been like, "What? Why am I here? Like, why am I playing away to bloody Toulouse?" Like, yeah. Anyway, I mean, you've covered quite a lot there, to be honest, mate. So, goals wise, I mean, he's already got 3 and 3. 18 last year, 19 the year before. This is league, by the way, just league.
That's crazy.
Which is the hardest league in the world to score in. 18 season before, which was his worst season. Which is,
and now how many months out injured was he? Well, like 3 months out injured.
3 months, 4 months in total.
I mean, bloody hell, man.
I think he got.
How has he been doubted?
I think he got 16 goals, mate, in the first half of the season.
How is he being doubted?
2 at the end.
How is he being doubted?
It's insane. I got that. It makes me angry, to be fair.
Yeah.
That he's just so underrated by our own fans.
Yeah.
Like, I find that inexcusable. But the thing is, how many players are underrated by their own fans who are quite possibly their best players? It is quite common. Like we seem to get in this mindset where we just take our best players for granted.
Yeah.
And just, oh yeah, he's just there. Yeah, he's just there. Like, you know, he's always there. But it's like, give the guy some credit. Like, he's always there, and he's always providing and producing.
Yeah.
And he's also been through 2 transitions of strikers. Like, he went through.
He's still going through one.
He played with the shit strikers.
Yeah.
And then we signed the good strikers, and then they got old, and then he got played with the new ones.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of integrated with the new ones. So he's been through 3 transitions of forwards as well. And he scored 32 goals in his first season.
I think that first season is part of the reason why some fans don't rate him as highly as should, because in a weird way, everyone thought, oh, he should be hitting 32 every season. He's not fallen below 18 league goals in a campaign.
I know, and that's just in the league.
That's just
like,
the
we
league.
Haven't talked about, like, in total. Like, it was 25 in total last year, 30 the year before, 31. He's never fell below 25. Oh, so he got 23 in 2019. But that was the one which was. That was the league. That was the league year, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we went out early in the FA Cup. Went out.
Yeah.
Relative, if I'm not mistaken, early in the League Cup. He didn't play in those games, so doesn't really play in those games, to be fair. But even Europe, only 4 appearances that season in Europe. Yeah. So 4 goals that season in Europe, and went out in the the second round of 16 in that against Atletico.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid. Yeah.
I mean,
crazy. Anyway, let me give him some flowers. Okay, what have I got here? I've got so much stuff on him. Hang on. Okay, so I'm going to play his nine goals that he scored in the first games of the season, because he got that record.
Yeah. Watford was 3-3.
Yeah.
All the front three scored in that game. Bobby scored a penalty and Mane scored the first goal from Emre Can assist.
I mean, that was going in anyway, I think.
Yeah. This was first game of the season. West Ham 4-0. Mane got 2 in this game as well.
What a ball that was from Robbo.
Norwich first game of the season. Bobby's assist. Boom.
Lovely play that. How many of those finishes does
Leeds United? He got a hat trick in this game as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, here is the hat trick. Top corner, boom. And then the last one was another penalty.
Postage stamp. What did you think about that year? Did you think we just blitzed everyone because it was he? God, he liked Norwich, didn't he?
Yeah, won this game 3-0 as well. Fulham. This is from a Nunes assist, I think.
See, that's why I got you on, mate.
Yeah.
I was thinking I'm going to do a show about these three, and I was like, who can I get? Oh, I know. I'll get the guy that knows everything about them.
And then the Ipswich goal, which was the other day.
I mean, if you had 3 more kids, mate, would you use their names?
Well, so here's the thing. Funny you say that. So Trent and Virgil, I would use. Salah, I use for one of my god kids.
Oh, great.
So even the god kids, my niece and my nephew, they've all got nicknames as well.
Great. Okay, so I'm gonna go through. Okay, so this one I thought was funny. So these are the last 7 appearances at Old Trafford for Mo.
So he's got, what is it, 15? I think Gerrard, in Liverpool history, I think Gerrard was next in line for goals against Man United, and that was 9. Mo's on 15, and he didn't score for his first 2 years against Man United. He didn't score in 17-18, didn't score against them in 18-19, didn't score against them away that season because we drew that game 1-1. And Lallana got the the equaliser in that game. And then his first goal was 19-20 when we beat them 2-0. So I think it was 5 fixtures he didn't score against Man United for. And then since then, he's just gone on a blitz. So he scored that one in 19-20. Then he scored 2 in the FA Cup against them in the pandemic season. Then he scored, I want to say he scored again against them in the pandemic season away from home to make it 4-2. Then in the following season would have been post-pandemic. That was the quad chasing season, right? So we beat them. He scored a hat trick, so 1, 2, 3 hat trick against them at Old Trafford.
That's the Old Trafford hat trick, yeah.
Then he scored a brace at Anfield when we beat them 4-0. So that's the quad chasing season. And the season after that, we lost them 2-1 at Anfield, but he got the goal. So that's number 10. Then at Anfield, we beat them 7-0. He got a brace, so that's 12. Then last season, we drew 0-0 at home. And then he scored against them in the FA Cup.
Yeah,
and quarterfinal FA Cup. And then the league game at home, he scored a penalty after Harvey got the
equaliser, yeah.
And then this season, number 15. So that's all his 15 goals.
Brilliant stuff, man. Brilliant stuff. I was just going through that list of the away ones that you were picking off.
Yeah.
This one here, there's some crazy stats on him. Salah's got more goals Old Trafford than Anthony, Garnacho,
Wow.
Rasmus Højlund, Cavani, Jadon Sancho, Memphis Depay, and Alexis Sanchez, who all play for them.
Oh, that's crazy.
That one was funny. Jamie put that one up actually as well. Most goals at Old Trafford in all competitions. He's level with Anthony Martial.
Since 2021. That's
2021.
Crazy.
Isn't it? That's crazy.
That's insane, man.
Tell you what, bloody Ronaldo was good for them.
Now, how many years was Ronaldo there for? 1.5 years, right?
Yeah, 17 goals at home.
Yes.
This one here, some of the Liverpool records. All-time most goals in a player in the first 5 seasons. So he did overtake Ian Rush in something, and Roger Hunt. 145 goals in the first 5 seasons. Robbie Fowler was up there though.
Of course he was.
29, and Kenny. That was another stat. I thought this one was hilarious, mate. You seen that stat?
No.
I scored 9 goals from corner situations. Mo's on 6 since 2021. Like
Mo usually gets the second.
Scores a lot of goals off corners.
Yeah, he usually gets the second ball.
Yeah, like so Gabriel for Arsenal's the most. Well, Mo's on 6. Like I thought that was insane. Like that was a stat that I thought was quite insane. Some of these are old, but they're still good. Mo Salah's got 42. Has scored 42 goals in major European competitions for Liverpool. The joint most of any player. It's level with Thierry Henry from Arsenal. I think this is in Champions League.
Yeah.
So he might have overtook him now. There's that one as well, which is players with the best minutes per goal or assist rates in the Premier League history. 50 games played, penalties excluded. So Mo's 4th on that list.
And he's a winger. Henry, Aguero, and Suarez were strikers.
All strikers.
I'll be real. Suarez's numbers there are crazy, considering how many bad players he played with in the first part of his Liverpool career.
He's insane. Like there's only for me there's only one player that kind of on the eye like is above Salah for me, and that was Suarez. Like I don't think I'll ever see a player that
Suarez might
gave me so much excitement. Like seriously, the guy is just, and he's just retired from international football as well at the age of like 39 or something.
Yeah, like the guy's he's insane.
I'll only keep you on for like another 10 minutes if that's all right.
No, that's cool, bro.
So Mo Salah's been directly involved in 8 goals in 8 Premier League appearances against Everton.
Yeah.
7 goals and an assist. He obviously overtook Steven Gerrard. So only Steven Gerrard scored more goals than Salah. So who knows? Maybe he can break that record this year.
Yeah, he probably will.
Mo Salah's the only player with 15 goals and 15 assists in 15 of Europe's big 5 leagues in 2023. Since Thierry Henry, as he dropped off again. Let me have a look.
Sorry about that.
Back in again. Yeah, back in again. Mo Salah's now both scored and assisted in 30 different Premier League games. Only Wayne Rooney's and Thierry Henry and Alan Shearer have done more. So
and they were in
that's
the
a record.
How long was Henry in the
Mo can do? Sorry,
was Henry in the league for? Is it 9 years?
I think so. I think Thierry Henry only played like 250 odd games. I mean, his numbers are insane. Like they are.
They are
genuinely crazy.
But he was also playing for the best team in the league at that time.
Yeah. And he was signed as a winger, wasn't he? And then came into
Yeah, he played
in
as
a
a striker.
Yeah. Didn't he get him from AC Milan?
Juventus.
Was he Juventus?
Yeah.
God, Juventus had some players.
Yeah.
And they let him go. Blimey. So I've got some records that he can still break. Okay, so only legend Thierry Henry entered the 200 club in fewer appearances. He's the only person above Salah on that.
Yeah.
He did it in 206 games. Salah done it in 223 games.
One was a winger, one was a striker.
Yeah, exactly. So some of the numbers. So Salah's currently ranked a 14th highest scorer of all time with 141 goals. He needs 9 more to draw level with. Actually, I think he's already overtook this. So I think this is quite old. Yeah, I think this is old. Yeah, we'll leave that page because I think that's old. Mo Salah's now been directly involved in 128 goals in 128 games. So I think it's now.
It's insane.
I think it's now 131 in 130. Actually, it's more because he's got more assists. I don't know. I think I don't know that number now. I think it's higher. So this was another one as well, which is these are all quite old days, but it's hard to find consistent stats all the time.
Yeah.
So 349 appearances, 211 goals. It's more now. 87 assists. It's more with 8 trophies. I don't know what the 4 and the 3 is. Oh, I think that's Player of the Year, Player of the Season, Player of the Year awards. So Mo Salah. Okay, so landmarks. Okay, so that was in the 2017-2018 season. 44 goals.
Crazy.
So he overtook Ian Rush. Oh no, he shared that with Ian Rush, by the way. So the league, so the most top flight goals scored by a player in a season for Liverpool is 32. So he's on the same as Ian Rush because Ian Rush did that in 1983, 1984. He also got to 50 goals in 65 games, which is the fastest for a Liverpool player. He's also Liverpool's leading Champions League goal scorer with 41.
Insane.
I mean, no one's probably going to ever get higher than that because he's going to score more this year. He's also our leading Premier League goal scorer with 147. I mean, he's miles ahead of Robbie Fowler now on 128. Do you think anyone's ever going to be able to eclipse him?
Who's Salah?
Against some of those stats.
The only way that will happen, in my opinion, is if not. I don't want to put pressure. I'm just using his name as an example. But let's say it's Jayden Dan, for example, was able to come into the first team at a young age, and we keep him for the majority of his career. Maybe someone like him. Outside that, I don't think so. Like, I mean, I want us to sign Mo up to a new contract, but let's say we don't. Kudus would be the first person I'd try and go and get, for example.
Yeah, I agree.
As much as I rate Kudus, he's brilliant at duels, he's brilliant at dribbling, he's strong, he's powerful, he's got a good shot with both feet. I don't think Kudus would ever get you the numbers Salah gets you.
No, I don't. I don't. I mean, in all honesty, in our lifetime, like say in our lifetime, like, do you put him on the same levels as a Ronaldo and a Messi?
I put him the level below.
So is that like a Thierry Henry level?
Yeah, I just have Messi and Ronaldo in a whole nother league to everyone else. It's not just the numbers they were doing; it's the consistency of the numbers. Like they were just animals. And granted, you again, context will stipulate that them playing in La Liga, where it is mainly Barcelona and Real Madrid are the two alphas there, and the league is a lot less strenuous than the Premier League. But for me, they're like, in my opinion, they're the two standouts, and then everyone else is in categories below that.
So, all right. So, if he signs a new contract, and I believe that they want 3-year contracts, like Virgil van Dijk and Salah. I believe they want 3-year contracts, and I think Trent's probably looking for a 6 or a 5.
Yeah, I reckon 5 for Trent.
Yeah, but I think we're probably only going to offer Virgil. I think we may well have only offered them 2-year contracts, Virgil and Salah.
I think it should be 2 years with the option of extending it with 1.
Yeah. So if he does do another, so say we keep him for another 3-year contract.
Yeah.
Why can't he be in the conversation with Messi and Ronaldo?
I know if we keep him for another 3 years and he's able to produce the same sort of numbers, then yeah, I think I still don't know if you can go in that conversation with them though, bro. I don't know.
Okay.
It's a tough one. You'd have to ask me in 3 years, God willing, he stays and everything. But
and I'm obviously moving on to that question. Do you think he stays?
I think after what he did the other day, I think he does, and I think it was extremely smart and calculated of him to do it. I don't think he
genius.
I don't think he did that by accident. Salah's not stupid. He did not do that by accident.
He never does interviews, by the way, and he's done 2 in a row.
Yeah, he knows
the last 2 games,
and I'm glad he did it, because what before he did that, you'd have people like me going, I'm telling you, he hasn't been offered a contract, and then you'd have other people going, he has been offered a contract, he just doesn't want to stay at Liverpool, he wants to go Saudi. He's now shut the other half up, saying he wants to leave and go Saudi. That's what, and he's basically gone, right, I want to stay. I'm going to tell the fans I want to stay. I'm going to do it in a respectful way. I'm telling the fans I want to stay. The ball's in your court now, to the owners and to Richard Hughes and Edwards. The ball's in your court. You now have to tell the fans, if you don't want me to sign a new contract, you have to tell the fans that it's on you, not me.
And Virgil did the same.
Virgil did the exact same. Trent
hasn't. I know that's the one that worries me.
Trent hasn't.
That's the one that I talked about a lot.
Yeah, that's why we have to be careful.
You know what's really interesting as well? There was a moment in that interview where I think Salah kind of realised that he's only got 1 year left for Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, when he goes, "Oh, this could be the last time I play here. This could be the last time I score here." Like, it was like he was literally talking to himself, going, "Shit, I've only got 1 year left." Like,
yeah.
It was a bit. It was like I said this on another show. Like I said, like, as soon as that interview finished, I would have been on the phone to Hughes going, "Don't let him leave Old Trafford. Get him in the boardroom in Old Trafford. Get him signed up in Old Trafford, like, while the emotions are there, while he's sat there." But yeah, I think it's also interesting that he said that the club haven't spoke to him. Like, they may well have spoken to his agent, like, because that's how it starts. That's how it all starts. So out of all 3, so 2 questions.
Yeah.
And they're not loaded. Out of all, no, they're not. Out of all 3, which ones do you think will sign a contract?
As of right now, I only think Salah.
Whoa.
As of right now, I hope I'm wrong, bro. I really do, but I'm worried about the other 2.
I hope you're wrong. And then out of all 3, okay, I didn't expect you to say that only one of them.
Yeah, I'm worried. I am worried. I am worried about the other 2. This isn't who I'd sign, but I'd sign all 3. But
all 3.
Club.
Okay, so all right, I won't ask you another question on that. Okay, so what I will do is I've made a. This is just hypothetically, by the way. Don't come at me and don't give me loads of hate on the channel over this, okay? But this is hypothetically a slot season 2 team. Okay. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Okay, where is it? Here it is. I want to see what you think. Whether you think this is way off, or whether this is if all 3 leave. By the way, hypothetically. Okay.
Or
so this was my thoughts, and a lot of it was down to transfer.
Sorry, can you make that larger again?
Yeah, 2 secs. Is that better?
A little bit. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mama, I reckon Alisson stays in goal.
So you reckon Alisson stays? Okay. Okay, yeah. That's fine. That's
fine. If Trent goes, yeah, it'll be Connor. I don't think we'll sign Aït-Nouri.
Okay.
I rate Aït-Nouri really highly. I just think from a defensive standpoint, I don't think he'd fit what Slot wants.
Big up Jamie. He's on holiday.
Brantford is completely possible, especially if Everton get relegated.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
I still don't think we'll sign Zubimendi. I think we'll almost make an example out of that deal and be like, look, if you don't choose us, we're not going to come back in for you again. I think Szoboszlai will keep his spot. I think Jota will keep his if he avoids injuries. I actually think Chiesa or Diaz will start over Gakpo on the left, and then we'll go out and buy someone on the right if Salah does go.
Okay. So you don't think Gakpo would stay?
No, I think he might stay. I just don't think he'll be a starter. If Chiesa comes in and Chiesa is the player who he can be, then he starts ahead of Gakpo for me.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. If you think it stinks, that's fair.
But I wouldn't say the team stinks. I don't think it's a title challenging team.
No, I didn't think it was.
Or title challenging 11.
I didn't think it was on paper on some areas, but I do think looking at a team on paper isn't what we should be doing with Liverpool under Slot.
No, so in an ideal world for me, it'd be Alisson.
I think he can work miracles with players. We would think they're miracles, but they're not with him. If that makes sense.
So for me, if let's say those 3 players did leave, I'd Alisson in goal. I'd have Connor at right back, Konate, and I'd like to see it be Bastoni, and then left back you'd probably go Robbo still.
Really? Even at the age of 32?
I know Robbo's a tough one. I don't know who we go and get left back.
Okay, so you're putting Alisson in there. So you don't know about left back?
No. Do you know what? Let's go crazy. Let's put Bastoni there.
Okay.
This is a team I would be happy seeing.
This is Cal's team. I also had Bastoni as the centre back, by the way, for a while. But then I thought the Branthwaite opportunity would be too big to turn down. What about right back? You think Bradley would keep him?
Bradley. Yeah, I'm alright. Bradley being there.
So Zubimendi, no. Who do you think? Because I don't think Curtis Jones.
No,
unfortunately, I love Curtis, but I'm really not sure about Curtis.
I'd stick to Gravenberch ahead of Zubimendi there, simply because I don't think we'll go back in for Zubimendi.
You don't think so? It has been reported that we are keeping that one open.
I don't see it happening.
And it has been confirmed that he wasn't pressured by his family or friends. It does look to me like the reason why he hasn't signed is because he's given his club time to get a replacement in. And January and we didn't go for another player. Like all of the stuff about being on the plane for Varela and stuff like that, that's all bull.
Like, yeah, of course it is.
I mean, it would really make sense. Like Zubimendi makes so much more sense to me now. Like when we were linked to him, I was thinking, really, is he going to be the guy? And now that I see Liverpool, I'm like, oh my god, he's the guy. Like he would be insane. Like, but Gravenberch has been fantastic, by the way. Like,
oh yeah, he has been
massive humble pie eaten by me, like over him, because I was his worst critic like last season. But he's been sensational. So you don't think Chiesa would be the you would go for?
I think Chiesa or Diaz will stay on the left. If Diaz gets a new contract, I know it's going to sound really harsh. If Diaz gets a new contract, I still don't think that guarantees he stays. That might just have a release clause in it potentially.
That's exactly what I think, mate.
That might just have a release clause. What I think, which wouldn't price him out of a move to a Barcelona potentially, or.
No, I totally agree with that. I genuinely think we're just giving us.
I'd say put Diaz in there for now, though, because the way he started the season, I think he's justified in being there right now.
Okay, that team looks a lot more threatening.
Yeah. The only other change I might make him again. This is if I'm Liverpool's owners and I'm pushing the boat out. I'd go Isak in that team as well, but that will never happen. We won't do that.
Why not?
Because we're not built like that.
I was looking at Anthony Gordon to put in there, but I'm thinking.
I'm not a big Anthony Gordon fan. I think he's good. I don't think he's rubbish. I wouldn't go the other way and be like he's a rubbish player. I don't get the general hype. I don't think anyone was mentioning Anthony Gordon before he came out and said he was a Liverpool fan. In fact,
I was a Liverpool fan. I never knew he was a Liverpool fan.
He's a Liverpool fan. In fact, I'd go as far as saying before he came out and said he was a Liverpool fan, Liverpool fans wanted nothing to do with Anthony Gordon. The only person I'd say who did was Mons, and Mons has been pretty consistent on that. But Anthony Gordon, I think you can go out on the continent and get better players than him for a lot cheaper. So I'm glad that didn't actually materialize.
I think the Belgian guy from Leipzig could do a better job.
I do think there's better players out there.
Openda. That's a fire team, by the way. Like, it's a good team. So I'll let you go in a sec as well, mate. No, I'm sorry I've kept you on a bit longer.
No,
so do you feel Konate is going to be the mainstay now this season? So because this is something that we've needed to do for a long time. I feel we've needed to have a back five which is just consistent. Like, you don't win leagues if you don't have a consistent back four. Like, you just don't.
Man City kind of shut that down, though. Man City
I just feel like that's something that's important for Liverpool. Like,
I don't. I actually think if you have the quality there, you're able to rotate.
Okay.
I think Pep's shown it. I think with the quality they have in defence, they're able to rotate. I think that the league is too strenuous now, on top of Champions League, FA Cup and League Cup, to just play a solid back five all the time. Unless you're going to have almost like a back five for the league and then a back five for the other cups, I don't think it can be done. The problem with Konate is his injury record. If he had an injury record like Virgil, then he's sitting there laughing. But it was the same with Matip. 1 week Matip would be the best centre back in the league, and then the next we wouldn't have him for 2 months. So for me, that's why it's even more important that Konate is rotated so that you keep him fresh when he is fresh. But I also that's why I really wanted a left centre back so that Virgil could actually get some rest as well. Although I wouldn't mind seeing Virgil moved out to right centre back either. So
yeah, no, that's an interesting one because that's really played for Southampton, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, mate. This has been a great show, by the way.
No, I've enjoyed it, man.
Really appreciate you coming on. That was Hot Topics for this week. I'm going to do another one in a couple of weeks. I'm not going to do one all the time because otherwise I'll give you all the content too soon. So yeah, I've just started growing my channel. Really appreciate you coming on, Carl.
No, pleasure,
Massive
bro.
fan of your
Pleasure.
channel.
Thank you, man. You've always supported really well as well.
Have you got anything coming up that that you want to let people know about?
Honestly,
on your channel?
I don't think we've got anything going out today. Maybe tomorrow we'll have something, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If someone can put Cal's channel link in the chat, that'd be good. I'm pretty sure everyone on here is a subscriber to your channel anyway, mate.
Yeah, hopefully. Also my other channel, the Sanderson Show, where I do I speak about combat sports there, and gonna start doing some interviews with influencers and celebs and athletes hopefully there soon as well. So I think I'm on like 1,970. So I want to try and get to 2K before the end of September. So hopefully I can do that as well.
Yeah, if you're not a subscriber to that channel, I'll stick it in the chat once we've finished, and definitely go over there and subscribe to that. But this is finish the show. Big up A9. He's just
Big
put
up
it in
A9.
there.
Appreciate.
He's just put it in there. So yeah, go and subscribe to his channel, and I'll go and do it as well if I haven't.
Bless you, man.
I need to check.
Appreciate.
Hopefully we're wrong in everything we've just said.
Yeah.
And all three signed new contracts,
Hopefully.
and everything's
really
wonderful. But we wanted to just go into a bit more detail of whether we can live without them and also give them their flowers. And this is my show, Hot Topics for today. We're out of here. See you later.